Mental health and natural hair. Let's talk about it. I feel like this is a topic that's not commonly talked about, but when most of us are going through something, natural hair is probably one of the first things that we put on a back burner. This video is one that I've been trying to make for a while now, but I was on a little social media break and here we are. When I was thinking about this concept though, I kind of felt like my thoughts were all over the place. So really this video should be called Random Thoughts About Natural Hair and Mental Health. I actually tried to organize them in a way that makes sense though, and I only have 5 points. The goal for today's video is that it will hopefully serve as fuel to get you to think a little bit deeper about hair and why we may or may not do certain things, you know? If you need to take a break from your hair because life is busy and you have a lot on your plate, then it's okay. What's really important is for you to do what's best for you in the long run, even if that means putting your hair in a low maintenance style, in a protective style. Although you should be really careful about protective styles, especially if you have fine hair. I have a whole video about the dangers of protective styles, so I will put it in the cards and down below. I typically don't advocate about wearing wigs or lace fronts because I feel like that actually eats away at your confidence to wear your natural hair, but that may just be me. I also feel like it's super easy for you to actually ignore your hair under these styles, but whatever. That's not the point of this video. To each its own. Anyways, hopefully today's video sparks a nice little conversation and let's get right into it. I feel like this intro is long enough. What originally sparked the idea behind this video is a few posts that I've been seeing on Instagram of someone's hair was really matted and the comments typically are wild. I find that it's easy for people to jump to conclusions, but sometimes I wonder what's going on, you know, in someone's life for their hair to get to that point. Hair is probably one of the main visible feature when you look at someone, and I think you need to be, you know, in a great state of mind to think about it and to care for it. There's a correlation with your hair, basically, the state of your hair and the state of your mental health. For example, if you are affected mentally and you can't get out of bed the entire day, your hair is literally the last thing on your mind. And no, I'm not trying to say that everyone who has broken hair has mental health issues, or I'm not saying that one is a result of the other, but there are certain times that it is. Anyways, moving on to my next point, and it is to reassure you that perfection does not exist, like at all. It's okay for your hair to not be perfect all the time, and it's okay for your style to progress over the week. My hair right now actually started as a wash and go, and then I did this swoop situation, pinned up some side, played with it, and boom, this is a new style now. And it's going to stay like this for the week, so it's going to get frizzier and messier throughout the week, and I think there's beauty in letting your hair be unique. I actually love how imperfect the style is. There's hair sticking over here. I don't know what the back is doing, but she's chilling. The color is giving, and I think there's so much beauty in allowing your hair to be perfectly imperfect. I have grown though to accept my hair this way, to move away from the super defined style, super defined hair, and ever since I've done that, I've just been really connected with my hair. Like I stopped trying to make her do things that I imagined she should want to do or she should do, and just allowed her to do what she wants to do. I'm talking about my hair like she's a person, but you know what I mean. I get messages all the time of people asking me how to get their hair to last a week. They want their style to last a week, and I'm like, no, let your hair progress. Let your style end up a totally different style than how it started. And there's so much beauty in that. There's so much beauty in letting your hair be unique. It's funny because a lot of us have the argument that what works for you is not going to work for me. My texture is different. Until it comes down to styling, then suddenly you want your hair to look like someone else's hair. So that's kind of deep. Allow your hair to be unique. All right, thought number 3. As much as your mental health can affect your hair, I think your hair can affect your mental health. Let me tell you what I mean by that. We can let our hair stress us out. And frankly, I don't think the state of your hair should make you feel unhappy, should make you feel unfulfilled or less than. For example, if you cut your hair and you want your hair to grow back, your hair isn't gonna grow back for another 8 months to a year. So it's going to take a while until you get to your desired length, or you're just going to be miserable and obsessing over your hair to the point that it affects you mentally. Or are you going to lean into your hair and accept the beauty of every stage? And it's actually worse when whatever's bothering you about your hair is something that you actually can't change. For example, we all want very dense hair. The natural hair community glorifies 2 types of hair, okay? Well, maybe 3. Curly hair, thick hair, and I mean thick, and long hair. I guess that's not really a type, but it's a state and it's glorified. So if your hair is not long, if your hair is not thick, and if your hair is not curly, then, and I mean loose curls, then there's a problem. If your hair isn't thick, there isn't much you can do to make it thicker. You can't grow extra follicles. So I don't think you should allow something that you just don't naturally have, physically, genetically speaking, rob the joy that you could experience with your hair. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, so another thought, the ideology that we should do our hair once a week, when you think about it, is coming from a pretty privileged place, because that means that you A, have the resources to do so, and B, have the time to do it. And time can be a luxury for some. There can be a lot more pressing things going on in your life, and hair may just not be a priority. And it's not because you don't want to, it's because you just really don't feel like you have the time. You gotta take care of these kids, you gotta take care of this house, you gotta take care of your husband, you got family members depending on you. Girl, sometimes it's a lot. So you can get to a point where you want to do your hair, but you just really don't have the time to do your hair, and that could be eating at you when you think about it. And that is probably one of the few times that I would say do what works for you in terms of stretching your wash day routine, for example. Maybe going on a bi-weekly schedule. Still be consistent with it, but more on a bi-weekly schedule so that it's not stressing you out. Like I don't know, you're not getting anxious every time wash day comes around. Like, okay, I need to do my hair today, but I just don't have the time. So it's not killing you inside. You know what I mean? You got to protect your mental health. So the other day in my stories, I posted that I did not wash my hair for almost 2 weeks. And the reason being is that I had to put me first. And someone left a comment and she was like, well, isn't your hair you? And I was like, well, first of all, sis got a mind of her own, and no, we're basically different at this point. I got to do what's best for me, and if I was to do what was best for her, then I would have washed my hair, but I wasn't there yet. I wasn't mentally prepared to do it. I had a lot going on, and I just didn't wash my hair for almost 2 weeks. And of course, I dealt with the consequences, but that's another story for another day. Another random thought about mental health and natural hair is the fact that sometimes we get really frustrated trying to style our hair in a certain way, and we're just not there yet. You know, you just started your hair journey, you're not great at styling your hair yet, and you can get very upset that your style is not turning out the way that you want it to be. And this point kind of ties in with the previous point that I had about this perfect hair or perfect hairstyle. So if you're frustrated at styling your hair and it's not turning out the way that you want it to, that can also be a contributing factor leading to some insecurities around wearing your natural hair. So instead of trying to go for perfect styles, okay, we already discussed that that doesn't exist, but also maybe doing some low maintenance styles that you know you can do, or just some styles that you've practiced and or your go-to, so you kind of do that and then practice something else. Basically, do the things that are not going to frustrate you and affect the way that you view and deal with your hair. So the last random point that I have is sometimes it's not even about mental health. It's just the fact that we're busy. You're just like, I'm gonna put me first. I am not gonna take care of my hair. You make this conscious decision not to care for your hair. And of course, that always comes with its own set of consequences. But sometimes it happens. It is what it is. I guess I just want to send some love and grace and understanding to whoever's out there watching this video and thinking, you know what? It's not even about mental health. I'm just busy. I'm just not gonna do this right now, but I will when I can. And that's okay too. If your hair's a little frizzy midweek, if it's been a week since you washed your hair and you're like, the hell with it, I'm gonna just put her into a puff. And you gotta do what you gotta do, sis. Anyways, let me know if you have any random thoughts about mental health and natural hair. What are some correlation, or if you don't think they're even related at all, you know, it'd be interesting to talk about it in the comments below. Have you ever been in a position where you're like, the hell with this natural hair? I'm just not gonna do her today. Let's talk about it in the comments below as well. And let me know if you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.